we can keep talking over this and just enjoy the pictures, really. I mean, this is a special moment for everybody concerned, not just the home team, the away team as well, I would think.
Yes, of course. I mean, they're not used to playing at stadiums like this, Southend, and as I said, it might just work against Millwall in some ways. It might be such a G-up for the Southend players, and they might find they've got a completely different game on their hands. Let's
talk about the game then, and your thoughts of how it will go.
I mean, on paper, Millwall are the favourites. You've got to favour them, but I think this is a special day for everybody. Millwall are going to might be a bit overawed by the occasion. They've got to be careful not to be. And we've got to take into account how much it's going to affect Southend. Will they be motivated by the occasion? I think they might be.
We've got a glimpse there of the American influence at Millwall.
Yes, it's good to see different nationalities come into the game. We haven't seen a lot of players from the United States, but I believe these three boys are very exciting players. I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Very exciting day. Now all you've got to do is tell me who's going to win and by what score.
I'm going to go for Millwall and 3-1 for Millwall.
3-1. We'll see what our commentary team think. I'm just trying to read the script and not get it right, which is a shame, isn't it? Time to catch up now with the full team news and join our commentary team, which is the former Millwall, Charlton and Arsenal coach Theo Foley. And first, a very good afternoon to Brian Moore.
Good afternoon, Matthew. Good afternoon, everybody, in fact. My first job, as usual, after greeting you, is to give you the team news. Let's start with the Millwall team, then, with Casey Keller in goal, 2, Kenny Cunningham, 3, Ian Dawes, 4, Gavin Maguire, 5, Tony McCarthy, 6, Keith Stevens, 7, Andy Roberts, 8, Ian Bogie, 9, Bruce Murray, 10, John Kerr, and 11, Tony Dolby. It's a side, in fact, that got off to a winning start last week at Stoke. Familiar Millwall formation. Diamond in midfield, Maguire in front of the back four, Roberts and Dolby on the flanks, Bogie just behind the two strikers. And on this historic day, surely a unique team lineup with 3 United States internationals in the Millwall side. Goalkeeper Casey Keller, already firmly established, of course, as a Millwall favourite. Indeed, he was their player of the year last season. Now joined by John Kerr, who played 13 times at the end of last season, and is now partnered in attack by Bruce Murray. 91 US caps to Bruce's credit, and the winning goal at Stoke last week. For Southend, for their part, have got former Millwall favourite Paul Sanson in goal. He had 8 seasons with the club down at the Den. Number 2, Adam Locke. 3, Chris Powell. 4, in place of the injured Keith Jones, is Andy Edwards. 5 is Andy Sussex. 6, Graham Bressington, the former Lincoln City player. 7, Andy ANSAH. 8, the former Barnet midfielder Derek Payne. 9, Jason Lee. 10, the ex-Orient star Ricky OTTO. And 11, Brett Angel. Lee and Angel form a really good strike force. Otto's got the pace and the guile to impress us all down the left-hand side. Payne works forever in the midfield, and with manager Barry Fry motivating them, well, they'll be keen to put behind them that home defeat by Barnet in midweek. And for Jason Lee, it's his first game for Southend. He cost £150,000 from Lincoln City, but missed the first 2 games of this season because of suspension. The subs for Millwall, it's John Byrne, Richard Huxford, and goalkeeper Carl Emberson. And for Barnet, Jonathan Hunt, goalkeeper Simon Royce, and Tommy Mooney. Our referee is Karen Barrett from Coventry. And the crowd has really built up over the last 10 minutes or so. And as we're saying, it's a terrific atmosphere, very reminiscent, in fact, of the old Den, which is, what, about a quarter of a mile away. And rather sad in a way when you go past it now. It's no more than a heap of rubble, a place with so many memories. But Millwall, on this historic day, in this wonderful new stadium, looking to make a new history and a famous old club. Millwall in the blue then. Attacking the goal to our right. Southend in an all red strip, a change strip for them. "83 years they played just down the road at the Den. First competitive game, the ball is on the move again at the new Den. It's Derek Payne in the midfield, but a throw for Millwall with Kenny Cunningham taking it. Brett Angel couldn't get on the end of that one. Chris Powell had such an exceptionally good game against Nottingham Forest last week, the number 3. 6 is Graham Bressington. Lee getting involved there. McCarthy. Roberts didn't really get a touch on it. Jason Lee now for Southend, and just knocked back by Stevens, and Keller quickly brought into the action. And the ANSAH brought down there by Maguire. Free kick to Southend, quickly taken there by Andy Sussex. Adam Locke on the far side. This is ANSAH. Dawes watching him, getting some support from Dolby. Locke again for Southend. Ball still in play. Dawes just playing it forward towards Bogey, and now it's out of play, and a throw once again to Southend. Southend having drawn at home with Nottingham Forest last weekend and lost at home to Barnet in midweek in the Coca-Cola Cup. Millwall started impressively with a 2-1 victory up at Stoke. Chris Powell for them again for Southend. Back to Bressington. Ricky OTTO, Orient fans remember him, and he on his day can really be good to watch. Crossed in again towards Jason Lee on the far side. A big lad, 6'3", and might well pose a threat for Millwall in the air. Early thoughts from Theo Foley.
I must say that Southend are very fired up for this one, Brian, despite the defeat in the week. They look as though they benefited from the game. Barry's got them going, and they haven't changed their system. They're really going to make a good game of this, you know.
Yes, Barry Fry was so honest last week on television. Certainly were absolute rubbish, or at least words to that effect. But he said, and he confirmed again to me in midweek, that he really likes his teams to play good football, and he was so disappointed that they hadn't shown any of that in that game against Forest, and certainly against Barnet. Well, they've started aggressively. They've started with a bit of style here, but that cross easily picked out by Casey Keller. Keller's long clearance. Murray leaping for this one, wins it in the air. But Andy Edwards got that away. Edwards, who played in the right-back position last week. And here's Kerr now on the break, but he'll come back. The whistle is gone.
That's also one of Barry's ploys. He's worked very hard at pushing up from the back. And they're definitely going to go route one, Brian, with Angel and the boy Lee. Both very, very big and impressive in the air.
Taken by Graham Bressington. Hit long again towards Lee. ANSAH being watched by Dawes. Turns and crosses it in. Roberts gets it away from Millwall up to Bogey. It's a fairly frantic pace early on, and you expect players, in fact, like Ian Bogey, to calm things down a little bit in the midfield for Millwall. He's got the skill, and last week he scored his first goal for the club after 41 goes.
Looks as though Keith Stevens got a knock there, Brian. Cut quite badly.
Yes, he's got a nasty cut on the forehead there. So I imagine, yes, Maguire goes into a central defensive position, and Andy Roberts is also a big, strong lad who can play central defender. Just a slight rearrangement of the Millwall side while Keith Stevens gets his treatment. Powell with a header for Southend, up towards Jason Lee. Brett Angel, stopped that time by Cunningham. Dawes. Forward to Kerr, came off his man nicely there, John Kerr. Roberts playing it through, Bogey chasing, but again Bressington's out there to cover up for Southend, but it's a throw for Millwall. Tony Dolby leaving it for Ian Dawes. Bogey. Again a Millwall throw. Again it falls to Ian Bogey. Now for Ian Dawes towards Murray. Knocked away nicely by Edwards. Murray. Murray again. Tries to find his American comrade, John Kerr. Flicked wide there by Roberts towards bogey. Locke hitting that one long. Brett Angel's after it. Casey Keller will hope it goes into the box, and it didn't. And there was a foul by Keller on Brett Angel just outside the penalty area.
He was very, very lucky there, Brian, because he came to actually catch the ball and then realised he couldn't. And for me, he just came a little bit too far. Most times he makes excellent decisions. That was a bad one.
Now let's see what Southend can do with a free kick in what is a dangerous position from Millwall's point of view. They put 4 in the wall. Andy Sussex behind this one.
I certainly think they'll miss Keith Stevens in these situations.
So a free kick to Southend. ANSAH runs over it, and it cannons off the wall behind for the corner. Corner taken by Andy Sussex, deeply affronted in the excellent Millwall programme. Describes him as a 32-year-old. I'm only 28, he says. So Barry Fry said we'll play like a 28-year-old then. Ricky OTTO over there for the corner. OTTO knocking it in, easily caught by Keller. Good safe catch. He had a problem yesterday in training. He ricked his back. There was a muscular spasm there, and there was just a little bit of concern. But he's okay now. Long ball knocked forward there towards Kerr. Sussex. Kerr. Trying to find Murray. Andy Edwards did well. Forward to Lee. Came back off McCarthy for Lee. They're still without Keith Stevens. We'll try and catch up in a moment on that situation. Chris Powell. Some good movement here, particularly from Southend. Powell getting his cross in, doing very well. ANSAH couldn't quite get on the end of that one. And McGuire in the end gets it away. It's a goal kick. Let's now check on the injury to Keith Stevens. Gabriel Clark.
Yeah, I've just had a word with the Millwall physio, Peter Melville, who says Keith's having about 6 stitches put in that nasty head wound he got in a clash with Jason Lee. Probably a bit of bandaging as well will be needed, but they're trying to rush Keith Stevens out as soon as they can.
Well, Southend have problems of their own with Graham Bressington.
That's a serious problem, really, Brian, because he's going to have to come back and head the ball against, as I said, Angel and Jason Lee, who are both big men. He's going to have lots and lots of challenges. He's a big, strong lad, Keith. It certainly won't affect his looks, but I hope he comes back pretty soon and in good shape.
Well, I think he's played for Millwall for something like 12 years now. He knows you've got to be tough to play in a Millwall blue shirt, and Keith Stevens is a great character. And he'll be back, you can be sure of that. But let's just see what happens here with Graham Bressington, the 27-year-old. They bought him in the close season for £50,000 from Lincoln City. Before that, I think I'm right in saying he had a little spell at Wycombe Wanderers. And a change of boot, maybe.
He got injured in the challenge with the lad Roberts. I think he just cut the sole of his boot, Roberts' boot. And it is quite painful, especially so early in the game.
So coming up to 10 minutes of this game in the Endsleigh Insurance League, First Division, 0-0 between Millwall and Southend. Edwards, the header. Dolby, trying to get Kerr away. Adam Locke, who had a miserable season last season with injury, did Locke. Let's hope he has better luck this season. Lee had come very deep to try and get possession. In the end, it was Brett Angel. And then number 8, Derek Payne, the former Barnet player. Here's Chris Powell to Ricky OTTO. A little flick with the outside of the boot. Gets it back from Payne. OTTO again, trying to get Jason Lee in now. That was an excellent bit of finishing as well. He flicked at it. And sadly for Lee and for Southend, it went straight to Keller, but it was an excellent move by Southend.
It was indeed. It was a very poor shot, Brian. It looked as though he actually hit the ball in his stride and couldn't decide which foot to hit it with.
Well, Keith Stevens is coming back. He's always been a great favourite of the crowd here. Rhino, they call him, and they'll love this. Little click on that time by Brett Angel, and Otto's on his way. A possibility here for Southend, and again straight at Casey Keller, and Ricky Otto furious with himself for not extending the American goalkeeper that much more. Up goes Murray, in comes Bogey. The game really coming to life now. Ian Bogey with the shot, just over. Well, I was saying earlier that he scored last week. The first goal he'd scored in 41 appearances for Millwall, and Mick McCarthy wants to see more firepower for him, and clearly he's got the taste for it now. That wasn't far away.
That wasn't indeed, but if the boy Otto had squared the ball there, Brian, to Jason Lee, he must score. Both of the Southend openings have been created by lovely football, and Millwall are looking now to find it a little bit hard to settle against them.
But it's really brightened up in the last minute or so.
It certainly has.
LOCKE. Back by McCarthy. Bressington. Up on the game by Maguire. Can Kerr get there? Well,
I think that'll be one of the best chances they'll have of getting through, Brian, Millwall. When the ball is cleared, if one of the forwards can remain and wait on the last player and take a chance and have a run, because Southend have always done under, I would think under Barry Fry particularly, he's always had teams pushing up very, very quickly.
Paul SANSOME with the goal kick. Stevens going in too strongly on Jason Lee.
He's certainly a brave lad, Brian. I mean, I'm sure the old 6 stitches will hurt. He's still in there to head in the ball.
I must see, Lee looks a little dangerous in the air already, though, Theo, doesn't he?
He certainly does, as does Brett Angel.
There's Lee again, but McCarthy just got his head to that one. Kerr gets it back for Cunningham. Murray will chase, but Locke has got plenty of time to get that back to SANSOME. SANSOME's nerve held well. Locke gets it forward. Again towards Lee. Millwall crowd unhappy with the way Lee challenged Stevens there. The referee none too impressed either.
He obviously jumped across him, Brian, from the back, and he's trying hard, desperately hard, to test to see if Keith really is a tough boy. Well, somebody better tell him he is, I can tell you.
There's Maguire. Bogey chasing. And no nonsense there from Andy Edwards.
They haven't really had much chance, Millwall, to settle into a real pattern of playing as yet. I think Southend have decided to play 3 players up the field to try and keep them 3v3 as they are now, and it's making it difficult for the other players to get the ball.
Bogey trying to get it through to Maguire, but knocked away that time by Payne. Here's Andy ANSAH. This is an enjoyable game, though, and both sides showing plenty of positive attitude. McCarthy got that away for a throw to Southend. Andy ANSAH with it. Lee, ANSAH, and Keller.
I think one of the interesting things for me, Brian, is that Southend haven't changed their way of playing. A lot of teams change because they come up against a diamond system.
Good jump there by Murray. Southend get it away again up towards Brett Angell. LOCKE. Rhino again. And now Sussex. Knocked off the ball by Dolby.
I would say that Southend have surprised a lot of people. I think a lot of people felt they'd come here a little bit subdued, but they've come here with plenty of confidence, played the ball around, and are taking the game to Millwall.
There's LOCKE. Little chip in again towards Lee. Covered though by Ian Dawes. Dolby. Bogey chasing. SANSOME might get there first. Millwall played 2 prestige friendlies here before today's game against Sporting Lisbon, when they actually opened the stadium in early August. And then a match against Honved, who play Manchester United in the European Cup next month, which is a game in Budapest. Certainly you can see live on ITV. Honved v Manchester United. Jason Lee again winning it in the air.
He looks fairly useful even at this stage, doesn't he, Brian? He looks as if he's going to win his fair share.
He's a local lad, you know, Theo. He was born in Newham, and he was at Charlton for a spell. I think he had just 1 league game for Charlton, and then went up to Lincoln City, and here's Kerr, but the whistle had gone.
I still feel that looking at Millwall, even at this early stage, they already miss, I think, the pace of Goodman. And I think Jamie Morley, I think with due respect to the 2 boys playing up front now, I think they're a little bit new to this system. And I think their best chance, as I said, of getting goals will be to try and catch Southend playing the offside from a clearance.
Yes, it's just worth pointing out at this moment that Jamie Morley and John Goodman, both missing from the Millwall attack with injury. Andy May and Alex Ray from their midfield. And Phil Barber, of course, also missing. 5 key players, really. So there's an awful lot for Millwall's squad that they can put a side of this quality out. Dawes playing it in. Dolby there in a bit of space. The cross comes in. Kerr almost there to finish it off, and maybe should have done. Bogey, Murray, Southend at full stretch here, but Otto gets it away, only as far as Bogey. He can't pick it up, and it's ANSAH playing it wide for Lee. Quite a little scrap developing actually between Lee and Stevens. Brett Angell got there before Stevens that time. Up goes Jason Lee. Roberts just touching it away, but it's back again with Keith Stevens. Now Bogey, a lot of passion about this game at the moment. Bogey, good skill too. Almost gets it through to Kerr, not quite though. And in the end it comes through to SANSOME, who knocks it away once more for Southend. Up to Lee, Brett Angell chasing this one. And Stevens gets there just before him.
That was certainly Millwall's best chance when Dolby got on the ball there. It was a very good cross. I thought he might have even had a shot.
Kerr, back for Roberts, goal kick.
I think Millwall have just got to go back to being patient like they were before, pass the ball around and get the ball around the corners. Certainly Southend looked to me as if they're a little bit vulnerable, particularly on the right side. When he actually pushes up the lad LOCKE, he looks a little bit out.
McCarthy with plenty to say. The Millwall manager.
He's probably a little bit surprised how well Southend are doing.
Dolby down that left flank. Actually, to be fair to Southend, talking about the people who are missing from Millwall, they've got a few missing here today as well. Goes Brett Angell, didn't quite get on the end of that. Dawes just knocking it forward again. Adam Locke. Hit towards Jason Lee again. Southend without their skipper Keith Jones in the midfield, and Pat Scully, Gary Poole, Mick Bodley in defence. I suppose, of course, learning to live this season without Stan Collymore now with Forest. Maguire penalised for the foul on Derek Payne. Paul SANSOME. Goes Brett Angel. Dawes gets it away. Bressington, but it's bogey again. Finds Kerr. Now has Kerr got the pace? Has he got the finish? He has!
That's a very well taken goal. I mean, he looked as though he'd lost it at one time. He kept it so close to his feet. I really thought he'd lost it, Brian. But he kept his nerve as well. And that's a very, very good goal indeed. Well worked. A little bit against the run of play, really, to be fair.
Also, a lot of credit to Bogey. Bogey did extremely well. Here he is.
It was only a few minutes ago that the boy Dolby got through and they decided to square it. But that time, as I said, he kept his nerve. And that's a splendid finish, you know. Really good.
Now, Southend seeking to come back again, but McCarthy gets it back safely to Casey Keller. So Millwall leading 1-0. John Kerr after 21 minutes. Roberts, too long. OTTO is in first. Then it comes off Maguire. Bressington gets it away for Southend, hoisting it long towards Lee. Stevens there is the important touch. And Dawes. Lee trying to touch it off for Brett Angel. Good challenge again by Ian Dawes. Here's Kerr, who in fact scored the first goal in this stadium in Millwall's opening game against Sporting Lisbon, and he scored the first one this afternoon as well. Andy ANSAH, knocked back by Kenny Cunningham to Casey Keller.
He's looked fairly confident, Brian, the lad Tony McCarthy, hasn't he, so far, to Millwall?
Indeed he has. Young Irishman. Bogey doing really well. Up to Lee. A foul on a free kick to Southend. Stevens. Bogey a little too long that time. Stevens again to Dawes. Two of the experienced men at the back for Millwall. Kerr not collecting that one. But here's Stevens again for Millwall. Back it goes to Keller.
Just a little bit flat now and then, Millwall, when somebody doesn't make a run. One of the forward players really has to make a movement or a forward or an angle off the ball for them. That's how they seem to work.
McCarthy doing well again. It's an important season for Tony McCarthy, really, with Colin Coover having left the centre of defence to go to Nottingham Forest. Maguire picking up Murray. Little flick in again, and Murray almost picking up Maguire, who'd made a terrific run from the midfield for Millwall. Southend just a little bit out of their stride just for the moment. Locke knocking it forward again. Lee and Stevens going for it and having a little bit of a wrestling match after they got back to the ground again. Chris Powell, the long ball forward. Bogey.
He is very good on the ball, Bogey, isn't he? He holds the ball in positions you don't think he's going to.
I think it could be a really big season for him, this one, you know. Here he is on the ball again. Flick with the outside of the boot. Perfection there.
I would have thought he'd have missed that at Gray.
Dolby. And a corner for Millwall.
He doesn't look out of place either, little Dolby. He's picked up the ball very well and done well for them.
Plenty of competition down that left-hand side for Millwall. Phil Barber plays a reserve game tomorrow, and they've got Lee Luscombe, of course. They got him on a free transfer from Brentford in the summer. But you're right, Dolby's looked very comfortable down there so far this afternoon, down that left-hand side. Here he is with the corner now. Floated in. McCarthy's in there, and indeed Stevens was in there as well. Stevens scored against Millwall, if memory serves me, at Roots Hall in a 3-3 that we televised last season. Stevens again. Dawes on this side. Stevens with a chip in. There, quickly behind them once again, but it just fell for Paul SANSOME. I'm
amazed how flat Southend get from that ball. One run, just one run behind, and he almost got in. Very unlucky.
Keller's clearance. McCarthy can head this back comfortably to Keller.
I think most of the players are really enjoying the weather, Brian, and the fact that we've had a lot of rain on the pitch. And as I say, it's a lot cooler. Yesterday was so warm. I'm sure everybody here appreciates that.
Southend players, when they went onto the pitch, were purring about it. It's just like a carpet, they said, and they're so right. It's beautiful conditions for them all out there this afternoon.
When you think it's only been laid in a very short while, it's marvellous. I expect if you want to go out and putt, you practice your putting.
Need plenty of that. Goes Brett Angel, wins it in the air. Bogey again. Yeah, Bressington did well to hustle him off the ball. Angel tried to get ANSAH in, but the angle wasn't right. Stevens to McCarthy. ANSAH to Payne. Back to Andy ANSAH again. Jason Lee knocked the ball in now for Brett Angel. And some excellent goalkeeping by Casey Keller.
I'll tell you, that was a great save, Brian. He was almost on top of him before he could look up. That was a super save and a great bit of football.
OTTO. Angel. OTTO. Good play here from Southend. Lee's waiting in the middle for him, but couldn't finish it off. Payne with a shot and knocked away again. Lee can't believe he didn't score with that one.
He's very lively, the little boy Payne now. He's had two great balls in there, and that was a great save again. It really was.
So Lee almost getting on the score sheet. Some great work here by Ricky OTTO. Pulls it back well. Comes in again. Payne, Lee and Keller. And a corner now for Southend.
That really is a splendid save.
Two great saves from Casey Keller. Millwall still leading by a goal to nil. Keller gets it, drops it, gets it again. Dawes. Oh, there's a good break. Murray might get on the end of this. No.
That's where I feel they missed the lad Goodman. I think his pace in that position is excellent.
McCarthy versus Lee. Lee got the touch.
Southend going the same route up to Lee or Angel, and no real pace in behind. OTTO really staying up, but he hasn't really made many forward runs in that situation.
Kerr jumping and winning. A well-timed jump there by the American. Dawes. Tony Dolby. Into Kerr again. Good control by him. Tries to slip it through to Murray, but cut out again very nicely there by Chris Powell.
I really don't understand why players don't shoot there, Brian.
ANSAH. Stopped again by Casey Keller. It's a terrific game, this one now. Millwall still leading by a goal to 0. Bogey. Dawes. Dolby outside. The crowd enjoying it too. Here come Millwall again. Bogey's in behind them. Kerr is waiting. Needed to be delivered a little earlier than that. And in the end...
I can't believe that. I don't know why they don't shoot.
Andy Roberts couldn't get on the end of it. Maguire playing it in again towards Kerr. That time it was knocked away by Sussex. McCarthy. Maguire. And a goal kick. So come on, let's have that theory. They're not shooting enough.
They're definitely not shooting enough. I mean, they've had 3 opportunities inside the box, Millwall, and their work up to there was terrific. And then players electing to square and play square balls. I can't believe it. He's laid the ball back to the boy Roberts. He could shoot himself. It was terrific play. But you must mention the goalkeeper, Keller. He's made 2 great saves, some great bit of football.
Lee versus Stevens. Lee just got the header in, sending Andy ANSAH on his way for Southend United.
It's going. They certainly wouldn't want to go out and make the tee, Brian. Could be a goal anytime you look or blink.
It's a good deal of positive play from both sides, with coming up to 33 minutes gone of this Endsleigh First Division game. Knocked away by McCarthy. Up to Bogey. Payne, like the look of him. He'll work forever. A nice little ball, played for ANSAH. Against the post, and Brett Angel hit it against the post as well, and Payne couldn't quite finish it off. Desperately unlucky there, Southend. Twice against the post. They remain a goal down.
He's been terrific, the boy Payne, hasn't he? Somebody's going to have to get a grip of him pretty quick.
Here come Millwall again. Kerr turning beautifully, bringing Bogey into the play. It's real end-to-end stuff, this. Lee. It's Andy ANSAH again. Bringing Adam Locke into it. Flick wide again for ANSAH. Angel's waiting in there for him and couldn't get on the end of that one. ANSAH plays it in again. Lee goes for this one. And the whistle had gone as Casey Keller gathers it. And it's a free kick for Millwall.
Your old friend, the 28-year-old right winger going on 32, is certainly working very, very hard to get in.
Let's look at this, Theo. This is how they hit the post twice. A little flick in there. Andy ANSAH comes against the post. It comes back against Brett Angel. And it just can't finish it off, Southend.
It's quite an amazing miss, that, the way it come back off the post. Certainly 1 goal won't be enough for Millwall. They need to be very, very tight in order to win this one.
Lee. ANSAH. To Ricky Otto, rather. Corner. He's beginning to look a bit dangerous too.
He certainly is. He's always been a very dangerous boy, but at times he's very undisciplined for me, which is probably one of the reasons that Orient decided to let him go.
Well, it's Adam Locke with the corner for Southend. Andy Edwards at the near post. Brett Angel, Jason Lee, Andy Sussex up from the back. Plenty of big boys in there. And it's in there! And Jason Lee has made it 1-1.
I'm sure Mick will be very, very unhappy with that goal. Well-taken goal, Brian, but having said that, he was headed unchallenged there. I'm amazed at that.
Here we are, Theo. The big man got up.
I'm afraid young Tony McCarthy was the wrong side of him, Brian. That's the reason he had a free header. He was actually looking at the goal, heading the ball. You can't allow that. But they deserve a goal, Southend, to be fair. They played very well.
McCarthy to Stevens. I suppose Jason Lee is what you would call a typical target man, English type centre forward.
Yes, he's one of them people that if you go route one and get the ball up there, he's young and he's obviously very strong in the air. But the biggest danger comes from the fact that young McCarthy was the wrong side of him from the corner kick.
Here's Kerr for Millwall. Can he get on the end of this?
I tell you, it's good stuff.
Corner given. Should be interested to hear what Lee Chapman has to say about Jason Lee at half-time.
It's the sort of goal that Lee Chapman would score.
Absolutely.
In his younger days, especially.
That's right. Well, it's a corner for Millwall, which Tony Dolby will take. Score at 1-1. Long looping corner. And McCarthy got to it. Oh, against the crossbar by Murray that time, but the flag is up on the far side.
I should imagine the ball went out, Brian, from the original corner kick. That's all I can think. Unless he's given a foul.
No, he's given a goal kick. No, he's given a foul. It's an indirect free kick. And Murray heads against the post, the crossbar rather, and it's a free kick to Southend United. Up goes Stevens, a shove in the back on Lee that time. He's causing real problems, and ANSAH wants to take it quickly, but not from the right spot. About 7 minutes of a highly entertaining first half still to go.
He certainly looks a useful boy, Jason Lee, doesn't he? Even at this stage, he looks very, very useful. Certainly not afraid.
Put in by Locke. There's Brett Angel. Touched back by Cunningham. Offside. Let's have a quick word with Gabriel Clark.
Yeah, I've been having a few words with Barry Fry. I mean, he's up and down out of his seat like a jack in the box. At one end, he's very pleased going forward. His real problem, as he says, though, are the two centre-backs for Southend, Graham Bressington and Andy Edwards. Not normally his first choices in that position. He's worried about the two Americans on them. That, he says, is the key to the game. As far as Southend are going at one end, he's delighted.
Excellent, thanks Gabriel. Here's Brett Angel for Southend. And the answer on the far side, backed up by Adam Locke. Just wide of that post again, and Jason Lee couldn't quite get on the end of it, and it needed no more than a touch.
Well, Tony Cunningham and Gavin Maguire were very lucky there. They both allowed the ball to be played in. Keith Stevens went with the first player, and if you have a look at this, they're really fortunate, really.
But a good goal-scoring record, Jason Lee. Something like 21 in 93 games for Lincoln City.
He is very good, Barry Fry, at buying players from the lower league. He's got plenty of friends down there, and he certainly does his homework.
There's Lee again. OTTO. Well, got a little bit untidy there.
A bit of what I call all-in wrestling now.
Maguire. That time it was a foul by Bressington on John Kerr, a free kick to Millwall.
It's quite interesting to hear what Barry has to say about his central defenders. I think the main problem, and he probably can't hear me, thank goodness, is that the defence are coming up far too quickly with no pressure on the ball. I'm sure he'll sort it out, getting enough money for it.
Cunningham with the free kick. Massive blew in there. Tried to reach Murray with it. And then Roberts. And it came off Andy Sussex. Foul that time by Roberts on Derek Payne.
I'm very impressed with him, Brian, because he come from Barnet and Barry knows all about him.
Derek Payne, yes.
Yeah, very good mover, isn't he? Lovely left foot.
Still only 26, skipper of the side. Cunningham with the free kick for Millwall. 3.5 minutes to the full. Murray battling away there, but well beaten in the air that time. Sussex gets it forward. Here's Lee again, nicely bringing Ricky Otto into the game. And how well Cunningham played. They say Cunningham's probably got as good an engine as anybody in this Millwall side. He's up and down, he's fantastically fit, and he needed to get back quickly there against Ricky Otto. A corner for Southend, though, which Adam Locke will take. Now, this is where Millwall will need to watch these big men again. Corner delivered in there. Keller catching that one quite comfortably, though. And a long throw out to John Kerr. Dawes hitting it forward. Bogey onside. Got support up there as well from Roberts. And well, it was hit well wide that time by John Kerr.
That was a great ball laid in absolutely superbly by the lad Bogey. Great run again from a deep position in behind. He did very, very well there. Should have hit the target.
There it is.
He must hit the target from there, Brian.
McCarthy versus Brett Angel. Angel winning it in the air. Angel and Lee are causing a lot of problems in the air.
Well, we did say early on that both of their height, they're both about, what, 6'2", 6'3". If you get any sort of service, they're going to cause a problem.
Premiership clubs alleged to be looking at Brett Angel, and indeed to Chris Powell, the number 3 of Southend United.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at West Ham United and they sell Julian Dix. Now there's one for you.
Who, this Powell, you mean?
Yes, I think he could get every chance of being a West Ham player, and West Ham will possibly sell Julian Dix in order to get some money in the camp.
Really? That's the Foley exclusive, is it?
That's for you.
Well, in the meantime, we got a free kick.
You see Keith Stevens is taking the headband off. Probably giving him a headache.
Four or five of them there, bunched in there, and Southend with plenty of defenders back there also. Comes out to Dawes. Kerr. Goes Angel. Offside that time.
That was very, very tight. He works very, very hard, doesn't he?
John Kerr.
John Kerr, very, very hard. The other lad looks a little bit as if it's a little bit high for him at the moment, the lad Murray. And I wouldn't be surprised to see John Byrne come on.
Which he did, I think he did in the second half last week at Stoke. Byrne came on as a sub.
It's very hard, I think.
Sussex gets it to Locke. Sussex again, played for Andy Ansell. They're playing some nice stuff, Southend. They fully deserve to be at 1-1.
Well, I'm not really surprised because Barry has always encouraged teams to play, but I thought they might be a little bit low on confidence having lost to Wickham. It's certainly not the case.
Free kick to Millwall, and Jason Lee, I think, has pushed and shoved a little too much on Keith Stevens.
That's the only way to stop it, Brian, anyway.
In the last minute of the first half, it's going to be a yellow card for the big striker, who scored the equalising goal for Southend United to make it 1-1. A yellow card for him. free kick to Millwall. Edwards with the header. Maguire. Played in for Bogey. Played nicely now for Kerr to chase, but Otto's come back to do his work well for Southend. Cleared by Paul SANSOME. Back heel straight into the path of Andy Sussex. Referee Karen Barrett looking at the watch again. As you can see on our little clock up in the corner. Played nearly a minute and a half of time added on.
Had a little injury to Keith Stevens, which I think was an injury, so Brian.
And also to Bressington. But there goes the half-time whistle. What a good first half it's been. With John Kerr having put Millwall into the lead, and then after a couple of fantastic saves from Casey Keller, Southend getting the equaliser through Jason Lee. So 1-1 is the situation here at the New Den between Millwall and Southend United.
Quite a good season. That wasn't a bad first half, was it?
I was quite impressed with that. Plenty of action, wasn't there? Lots of chances. Probably a lot of poor finishing. I felt there should have been a lot more goals scored, but it's been exciting to watch.
Let's get on with some action. And that first goal. We can have a look at it here. And, well, you picked him out, and no one was listening when you said it, but Ian Bogey is a good player, isn't he?
Yes, he's caught my eye this afternoon. He's shown very good close control, good distribution of the ball, and here he puts the ball through to Kerr, who actually finishes very, very well. They haven't had a lot of opportunities, Millwall, but this is one of the few they had, and he did finish well.
You can see this from another angle now, Lee.
Yes, Bogey does very, very well. Through to Kerr, gets sight of goal, and only needs one chance to finish.
It was a lovely strike from a man who knows an awful lot about Paul Gaspin by lots of things, but less of him. Let's have a look at this pinball incident, as I call it.
Yes, this is one of many chances that Southend had during this half, and I really feel they should have completed more of them. This is poor finishing, really. You've got to be quite honest about it. He should have put the ball away.
But then they did score. Jason Lee, over to you, Lee.
Yes, he's caused a lot of problems, Jason Lee, but here, very poor defensive marking. McCarthy will not be pleased with it, this mark in the end, and I'm sure his manager won't be. Jason Lee's caused a lot of problems, and he'll cause a lot more, I'm sure, the second half.
Well, it has been a good first half, but pick out some areas that we ought to be looking at from now on in.
I think Mick McCarthy will be very concerned about the number of crosses that are coming into the Millwall box. They seem to be getting crosses in at will. They're not closing it down. And of course, with a big fella like Jason Lee in the box, he's going to cause a lot of problems. And I think they've got to stop the crosses coming in, otherwise Southend are going to take the game.
On this theme with a man who can talk a bit. His name is Barry Fry, and he's now with Gabriel Clark.
Barry, you said you were rubbish last week. That must be a bit of an improvement.
Yeah, it is a bit of an improvement, but not in front of goal, I'm afraid. Good game end to end, plenty of entertainment. In saying that, I think for an away side, we've created 5 or 6 great opportunities, but our final ball or our final shot's been a bit powder puff, and I'll be looking for a vast improvement in front of goal this second half.
What about at the other end? Because they've looked dangerous as well.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm playing without 2 centre-halves, you know. I'll give them a chance before we go out. No, obviously, my 2 centre-halves and Gary Paul. 3 out, my back 4's out, and I expect them to cause us problems. That's why I'm trying to keep it up the other end.
But your big centre-forward, Jason Lee's not played much at this level. In fact, this is really his first season. You must be pleased with him.
Yeah, I bought him from Lincoln, and he scored a hat-trick in his first game. Then the next day, Lincoln told me he was suspended for the first 2 games, so that cheered me up no end. But he hasn't played for 12 games and 12 days, and he needs to practice. But once he gets into it, he's going to be a good player.
Barry, thanks very much. We'll go back and join our commentators, Theo Foley and Brian Moore.
Thanks, Gabriel. We'll be ready to go again. Barry Fry as cheerful as ever. And Southend holding Millwall here at 1-1. Southend in the red strip, if you just joined us. As Cunningham gets it back to Keller. Towards Murray, a flick on by him and a good one, but I don't think it was Bogey offside. I think possibly it might have been Kerr in an offside position.
I'll tell you, it was, again, very, very tight, Brian. We're talking about a yard or 2 at the most.
Absolutely. Lee doing well. Don't think Payne will get on the end of it. Stevens has got his Head bandaged up again at the start of this second half. Bogey finding Kerr, who did look to be standing in an offside position, but maybe not interfering. Knocked back by Chris Powell, out to Paul SANSOME. Brett Angell with the jump. We were also close, of course, to the playoffs last season. Looking to go at least one better this season. And Southend, for so long last season, looking a real relegation candidate. Back by LOCKE. Angel, a little flick on. Ricky OTTO. And that wasn't easy. That wasn't easy for Casey Keller. He'll not be thanking Kenny Cunningham for that back pass.
He certainly won't. I tell you, when he wins the flicks, the boy Angel, he really gets direction in him, and that's the reason that OTTO is looking so dangerous. The other lad, Lee, just really gets a flick and doesn't know. Angel's excellent in the air.
ANSAH, back to Lee, back to ANSAH. Now for PAYNE, flicked in again to Brett Angell. There's his header. He will have wished it to have been a little firmer than that.
He had to work an awful lot to move the ball, Brian, but I think he'd be a little bit disappointed again. He didn't get the target. It was good enough cross. I would imagine in the early stages of this half that Millwall will have to up it just a little bit more. I'm sure Mick will make them aware that there is a need to up the gantry a bit here.
SUSSEX. Finding Powell. Moves nicely with the ball. Brings OTTO into it. Onto the right foot. And a bit of shoving again by Jason Lee, who you remember was already booked in the first half.
It shows inexperience there, Brian, because the ball is a danger, and he's elected to fight Keith Stevens, who would fight most people on a clear day.
And even more so on a murky one. Here's Keith again. Tony McCarthy. Ball played up to Bogey, and now for Roberts. Maguire. There's Angel again, coming deep to get possession, finding Adam Locke for Southend United. Lee again. PAYNE. Well, they played none of this football last week against Nottingham Forest. ANSAH knocking that one in. And McCarthy at full stretch against Brett Angell to get it away.
Obviously didn't get much chance against Notts Forest, Brian, because Notts Forest pushed the ball around so well.
Wow. Dawes, Bogey. It's a ball, just a slide rule pass there, but it didn't quite work out for John Kerr because Andy Edwards got in just a fraction before him. Lee again, good work with the head, but couldn't put Andy ANSAH clear.
Have a little Bogey. I think he looks like John Giles a lot.
PAYNE. Well, it came to ANSAH in the end. And he got his cross in, but Keller was there for Millwall. Tony Dolby. Indoors. Kerr. Pause again. Maguire. The gap was there. Maguire made the most of it. Again, Edwards did well. Barry Fry's been worried about his centre-backs, but I think for a stand-in centre-back, Andy Edwards has done particularly well. Here he is again. Bogey, a little touch, gets it back again.
He's very neat, isn't he? A very neat passer and very positive when he makes a decision to pass.
Here he is again. Into the path of Maguire. Cunningham's gone away down the right-hand side, but it's short this time for Kerr. Maguire again for Millwall, inside now for Roberts. Looking for for somebody to make the break for him, and it's Cunningham down the right flank, but OTTO had spotted that.
That's the only real difference, Brian, the fact that when they do push the ball around Millwall, you really need one forward breaker all the time, and that's, I really do feel they miss Goodman for that reason alone.
Cross comes in from Cunningham. And there was a foul on the fullback as he tried to get it in, and so it'll be a free kick now to Millwall. A little clutch of players there. That's a recipe for all sorts of elbows and skullduggery, I would have thought.
That's the old Wimbledon trick, that one, Brian. All get in the line, see who falls over.
Just look at them there, just look at them there. Is it going to be Dolby with the in-swinger? No, it's Cunningham swinging it out. It was Bressington who got there for Southend. Here's Kerr. Murray's waiting in the middle, and in the end, SANSOME takes emergency action to get it away under a lot of pressure from Keith Stevens, who were old buddies, of course, and they were both Millwall teammates, but nothing very friendly about that.
Yeah, the little boy OTTO has made about 4 very reckless challenges, and he's made one there very stupidly, and Gavin Maguire has tried to pull him and hack him away. Bit of a shame, really, because he had a similar challenge on Cunningham just a moment ago. I think he's just lost his head a little bit. Hope everybody keeps calm.
Well, let's have a look at it again. You have a look at that, Theo, and I'll have a look at what's going on the pitch.
Yeah, he was very, very late, OTTO. As I said, he's had 2 very late challenges. I think he's got a little bit infuriated with himself, and Gavin Maguire does need a lot to spark him off. I think it's just a little bit of excitement, Brian. Bit of a shame, really, because there hasn't really been a bad challenge in the game.
Yellow cards then for Gavin Maguire of Millwall. And there's no more competitive player than him, and Ricky OTTO. And a free kick given to Southend. Kerr for Millwall. Bogey just finds Roberts. Murray working on that far side now for Millwall. Got a bit of support there from Ian Bogey. That's a good measured cross coming in by him. It might come for, no, the whistle has gone. It came indeed for Tony Dolby, but by then the whistle had gone.
I really can't understand that. You know, the ball goes in the box and the forward fouls the defender, and so gives the advantage to the other team when the defender's really under pressure. Amazes me, Brian.
Through to Southend. Locke with it. Lee. Dawes gets it clear. Edwards. Dolby. Bogey. Just gets away from Sussex's challenge. Gets it back again. A little fortuitously that time, but Bogey making the most of it now. That pass not quite angled for Kenny Cunningham. It was almost there, though.
But you have to appreciate what he's doing, Bogey. His passing selection has been excellent.
Offside against OTTO.
I would say Millwall have come out a little bit more fired up than they were at the start of the game. Probably mixed a few words with them and reminded them that Southend aren't easy as they proved. And it's been very, very much a really competitive game, end to end.
That's Roberts. Here's Kerr. Dolby. Swift challenge there by Ian Dawes, but still Southend come away with it with Adam Locke. Oh, and that'll come for Jason Lee. Now can Ricky OTTO get on the end of that? He can, and Southend are ahead.
Well, that was a very, very simple goal, all caused by Ian Dawes really not getting a strong tackle here, and then Keith Stevens being beaten with the ball played inside. They looked very, very sparse then Millwall at the back, and OTTO took the goal very well.
That was the crucial moment there when
Yes.
Keith Stevens couldn't quite get hold of it. Jason Lee does well, plays it across the face of the goal. They have a little bit of luck here, but Ricky OTTO finishes it off.
He's very unlucky, Ken Cunningham, when you look at that, because he's actually played against his shins.
So Millwall 1, Southend United 2.
We'll have a game on now, Brian, I'll tell you.
Bogey. Offside against Murray.
All of the lad Murray's runs have shown a little bit of inexperience and negativeness, I think.
That's from another angle. Again, we see Stevens just failing to get to it. Lee does well here. That's a good ball played in there again, you know, and Ricky OTTO finishing it off.
Very good ball.
Actually, I'm looking at Jason Lee jumping with this ball now, and he's been winning an awful lot of them in the air, but he's also leading the line well. He's bringing other people into it well, you know. He's looked really quite impressive, Theo. And here is Southend again with ANSAH this time. Shaking off two challenges there, Southend. And Keller grabbing it before it gets through to OTTO for a second time.
They look as though they got a bit between their teeth now, Southend. They've had the goal when the game's been a bit even, Stephen, and they look very, very confident now.
Pressing, no. Can Kerr get on the end of this one for Millwall? Playing for a handball, the fans at any rate. Roberts crossing it in. Locke gets it away. Dawes tries to keep it going. Maguire back to Dawes again. It was played a little too short. Cunningham. Forced all the way back. Millwall fans weren't happy about that. Keller now trying to get it going again. And a free kick for the foul by John Kerr. And Graham Bressington.
I would imagine Mick would have thoughts now about bringing on one of the subs, Brian. I think he's got one or two alternatives there. He can bring one or two on, and perhaps there might be fresh legs and might just do the job.
Well, I would have thought John Byrne is the obvious one, isn't it?
Yes.
Richard Huxford is another one who's a fullback.
Could possibly move it around, but I would say John Byrne for me looks very much favoured. I think the lad Murray is gaining in experience, but the occasion is possibly getting to him.
It's a free kick for Southend. Number 5, Andy Sussex. Good free kick exponent. Yes, I was going to say, Kieran Barrett's got to get that Millwall wall back. Optimistic to be standing about 4 yards off it at the opening.
Never were good at measuring players.
Anything but 10 yards now. Sussex with the shot driven, but well wide, the goal kick.
It's a well-worked free kick.
Well worked, Theo, and a chance for you to look at it again for us.
Yeah, it's a little bit off target, but the actual setup of the free kick I think is excellent. And he gets his shot, it's just as I said, off target.
Murray with a good backward header, but there was a foul on him, a free kick to Millwall. Looking to repair the damage. Looking to repair the damage now, Millwall. As Dawes gets it in, Southend leading 2-1. Sussex gets it up to Lee. Payne didn't quite have enough carry on that one. Edwards back to Paul SANSOME. Lee's header brings it to Andy ANSAH. Lee can't get on the end of that one. Maguire picks this one up for Millwall. Bogey. And again the Millwall goalkeeper, or the Southend goalkeeper, Paul SANSOME. 31 years old now. Played 156 league games for Millwall in 8 years. Mr. Dependable, they called him. Keller. Bressington. Gets it up as far as ANSAH. Stevens did well. Dolby. Bogey. To Roberts. Come through to OTTO though. Plays it quietly for Payne. Wasn't a good ball though by Derek Payne. OTTO cut that one out.
I'll tell you what, Brian, these are as close as decisions for offside as I've ever seen. You're talking about a yard to two. The linesman is very, very sharp. But by goodness, Southend are gambling. And I think they get caught on it.
Lee chasing this one. Brett Angell in there too. And Angell a little disappointed, to say the least, because he made a terrific run through those central areas. Just wanted a little touch from Jason Lee, but it wasn't coming. Good working centre forward, this man, Brett Angell. Good goal scoring record behind him. I think 41 goals in 99 league games. Dawes. Ups on the game. Bogey chasing. Flag is up. Millwall fans not happy with that decision. Southend aren't complaining.
We are just talking there, Brian, literally about almost being level. He's very, very sharp. The lad Bogey played a 1-2, superb, and just, for me, again, I'm not there obviously, but it looks ever so tight, honestly. I would say you're talking about 1 yard maximum. Some defending.
I mean, if Bogey was the last man there from that angle, he was clearly off, but it wasn't the best angle for us to decide in any case. Powell to Payne to OTTO. Here comes Southend again. Brett Angell's waiting in the middle for him. It's too high both for him and for ANSAH. Andy Edwards. Adam Locke played in again. Can Kerr finish this one off?
Well, that definitely wasn't a penalty because he fell after he'd attempted to get the ball. That wasn't. The lad Edwards has done very well because he's a right back and he's coped quite well as a central defender. Maybe Barry's found himself a central defender he didn't know.
Here's Bogey. With a throw. Kerr. McCarthy couldn't quite get to that one. Kerr had to come back and retrieve the situation. Up goes Murray. There's Roberts. Here's Kerr. A space for him. He tries possibly to bring Bogey into it. Here's Bogey! And in the end, it's Dolby who hits it high into the stand. But the real chance fell to Ian Bogey.
That's a great opportunity. And it was a very poor strike, really. One or two of the players when they're shooting today, Brian, look as if they're unbalanced to me. I don't know whether it's because it's early in the season, but the quality of finishing has been very poor. And Bogey will be very disappointed with that. That was a great move.
Good ball in by John Kerr, and a substitution being made. In fact, it's the number 14 for Millwall, Richard Huxford, coming on. And it's Tony Dolby who's come off. So they put Huxford on the right side of midfield. Andy Roberts is playing more or less in the centre of midfield. Bogey's come away here to the left. Here's Ian Bogey. Chipped up towards Jason Lee. And a foul by Roberts on ANSAH. And Roberts will get a yellow card for that.
I think Millwall are really going to try and get little Bogey in on one of those flat defensive runs, Brian. But he's breaking off the ball and movement to get the ball has been excellent. Only hope that doesn't curtail him. It's an interesting substitution. It's not one that I would have thought Mick would have done.
Yes, just clumsy more than anything else, I would have thought. But Mr. Barrett says no, it's a yellow card, and ANSAH gets some treatment. Yes, you would have thought John Byrne would have been a leading candidate to come on, Theo.
I would indeed, because I feel that lad Kerr's made some great runs, but Murray, as I said, has been a little bit inhibited, I think, by the occasion and the fact that I think it's a very demanding game for him to work on. I'm very impressed with Kerr, very.
Locke plays it in. Angel knocks it on. Can Otto get there? No, it's Keller who gets there first, and a quick throw out to Kenny Cunningham. Cut out by Sussex. Looking quite comfortable at the moment, Southend. Let's see if we can get a clue from Gabriel Clark down on the touchline as to why Mick McCarthy made that substitution.
Yeah, you know, Mickey's pretty blunt and to the point. He says hopefully to get us a goal and get us back in the game. But expanding on that, basically he feels Millwall aren't getting wide enough. He hopes to stretch Southend down the right through Huxford, down the left through Bogey, and maybe get back into the game that way. He feels otherwise Southend have been occupying them too much going forward in the wide positions.
Thanks, Gabriel. That's a good point. Well, here's Andy Roberts through the centre. Strength taking him just so far. Now Dawes down to this wide left where Bogey is. Wow. Just touching it in. Edwards getting it away. Sussex helping it on. Lee with the ball. Huxford on the far side. What an irony it would be if he undermined Southend United, a former Barnet player under Barry Fry. New to Millwall. Richard Huxford, number 14. Through for Kerr.
Southend are a little bit vulnerable through the middle, Brian, at times, but they've really tried to push up and make Millwall play penetrative balls, and it's worked so far. It really has.
Kerr. Oh. Actually, I've been impressed with John Kerr, though.
Yes, I have. He's made some great runs behind the Southend defenders, and he's certainly worked very, very hard. He took his goal well, didn't he? Smashing goal.
Looking to get in the United States squad for the 1994 World Cup. Although he was born in Toronto, and he was telling me before the game his father, in fact, played for Canada.
Don't worry, the Americans will have him if they can.
But he's a United States citizen and qualifies that way, of course. And here's another one at Casey Keller. He'll certainly be in the running for a place in the United States side this coming summer, or next summer rather. Well, now John Byrne is coming on, and they're taking off Bruce Murray. To his credit, Murray has battled really well. This is all strange territory to him still in the league, and Brett Angell coming off, and they're bringing on Tommy Mooney.
I would think that was fitness, Brian. He's obviously suspect on fitness, Brett Angell. He's out most of last season, or more than half it, and I think that's the reason for that.
Mooney's first touch. Payne trying to get on the end of it. Ricky Otto's in there. There could be problems here for Millwall. It ricocheted off the defender for a Southend corner.
You have to give Southend credit in that not only have they come here and had a goal, but when they are in control now, winning the game 2-1, they're still really trying to get another goal. They haven't sat back. It's all credit to them.
Well, they lead 2-1. Adam Locke's now taking the corner for them. Tommy Mooney in the 6-yard area, but it was McCarthy who got the header away. Locke again for Southend. And an offside flag goes up against, I would suspect, number 14, Tommy Mooney. It cost them £100,000. A 22-year-old striker, came from Scarborough.
I've seen him. He's a very useful boy. That's what I mean about Barry. I think Barry Fry works very hard at the lower league and sees that players are hungry to get a little bit higher. That's the reason he buys him. He's a very good player, Mooney, I'll tell you that.
Bogey. Now Kerr. Oh, he's found himself a yard here, and an excellent piece of goalkeeping by SANSOME as well.
That was very good, wasn't it? I mean, he did it all himself, did the trick, and that was a great shot. A good save from old Sammy.
Oh, and it's in there. And it's Mooney. Whether he got the last touch or not, but Tommy Mooney is doing the celebrating, and Southend have gone 3-1 up.
Well, that really is a soft goal, Brian, in more ways than one. Both central defenders left it to one another. Casey came out to try and retrieve the situation, and the lad Mooney gets almost with his first touch the goal. He's good in there, I'll tell you.
So now 3-1 to Southend United, and Millwall's first competitive game at their wonderful new stadium. It's turned out to be not quite such a party after all. Ball goes up, it's beaten in the air. Millwall with a little over a quarter of an hour left to pull this game round. Well, I don't know what we make of it, Barry, do you? Get humbled by Barnet at home in the week, which was a totally embarrassing defeat for them. And they've really taken the game to Millwall here. They've gone a goal behind, and now they've scored 3 of their own, and looking to add to another one as Cunningham puts that behind for the corner. Fans reluctant to let the ball come back into the field of play, which strikes me as being the ultimate in stupidity. When their side's up against it, they're 3-1 down. I would have thought you want to get on with the game as quickly as possible.
They certainly do, and it's a bit of a negative attitude that all they got to do is throw the ball back. They'll wait till the other one comes out, and then they'll throw it back on the pitch. That went out with Father Time.
Well, Mick McCarthy just can't fathom it out. Also, we don't seem to be able to find a substitute football.
As I said, that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on the ball to come out, and then they'll throw the ball out.
I can't believe this. Kieran Barrett making it quite clear what he wants. Ah.
There's nobody in the Millwall dugout could kick the ball. That's why. At least not that good.
So a corner then for Southend, will be taken at last. Adam Locke will take it. Just coming in. Stevens gets the header away. Locke will tease another one in possibly. Yes, there it goes, but the flag is up on the far side for an offside, a free kick to Millwall. BRESSINGTON, but couldn't control it. Instead of that, it's Huxford on the far side towards Kerr. Didn't get a real touch on that one, right across the face of that goal. As Locke follows it out, and Southend get a throw. So you've got to choose the man of the match. This Endsleigh Insurance First Division game, Theo?
I certainly have.
Not quite yet.
That's a novel way of wasting time. Throw the ball out twice. Not seen that.
Third time lucky, Adam. And he does so. There's Byrne. Not really had a touch yet. Dawes trying to get in there now. Byrne trying to get in there also, and it just wouldn't fall for Millwall. McCarthy with the header this time. Touch back again by Huxford. And Chris Powell gets it away.
They've been very competitive, Southend, all around the field. They really have. Well fired up for the game. Maybe because the television cameras are here. Barry doesn't like getting beaten on television.
In again towards Byrne. Trying to get something on the turn. Couldn't really get enough strength into that shot. And in fact, the referee has given an indirect free kick for the foul, presumably on John Kerr.
I would think that was a back pass, Brian. He must be judging that as a back pass.
He's claiming that the referee's claiming that it was a back pass.
Yes. I mean, he showed there, John Byrne, just how rusty he is at the moment, because that was lovely control, but his shot was very, very poor.
So it's right on the edge of the 6-yard area, which means that the Southend wall have got to be on the goal line.
Or behind.
Or behind the goal line.
It's certainly going to be hard, I'll tell you.
Well, Ian Bogue is going to have a go at it.
He must do.
Well, this is fantastic, isn't it? Look at that shot down on that goal line.
You won't get them all in camera.
How are they going to play it? Indirect free kick, of course. Over the top. Well, they claim it went off the goalkeeper. In fact, they're saying well done to Paul Sanson. He must have just got to touch that Ian Bogie shot. And it's a corner to Millwall. Corner. Kenny Cunningham with it. All back. Needing a goal desperately now, Millwall. Cunningham will lift it in again. It's a foul. No, he's played on there by the referee, and a very good advantage it was now. Can Millwall take advantage of it? McCarthy getting it back to Roberts. Played in the game by him, but he wasn't quite sure where and how. Dawes. And the throw to Southend.
That was a nice piece of refereeing. A lot of people would have blown up there. I thought he did very well.
The cutting edge has gone out of Millwall's play, hasn't it?
Yes, mainly I think more or less because of the third goal, Brian, but I do feel that apart from the boy Kerr, they do lack that bit of pace that got him out of so many scrapes last year.
Lee playing it up towards Otto. Here's ANSAH. Mooney's in the middle. And out Kerr. Byrne up alongside him. Maguire making tracks through the middle for him as well. Here's Maguire supporting. There's the cross coming in. And Paul Sanson assured as ever.
Much too far from the goal, that cross. It was about 10 yards out. Sammy can easy catch them.
He would have been at Millwall in your time there?
He certainly was. Great lad. Very good keeper.
It's Ian Dawes. Play. ANSAH just touching it back for Locke. Played in again for Mooney. And Albert. Chris Powell cutting it away, knocking it away quite comfortably is Ricky Otto. Bogey again. That's not a bad ball. In fact, it's a very good one into the path of John Kerr. Now, as he gets past his man? No, he can't. Bressington did well. Maguire. Kerr. To Byrne. Mooney chasing this. He just wrong-footed Stevens there for a moment, but not the second time. Dawes gets it away, not very convincingly. Straight to Ricky Otto, in fact. There's his shot. Okay.
He's done very well, Ricky Otto. He's really been competitive as well, but I think the biggest single danger for Millwall all afternoon has been Jason Lee and Brett Angel. I think their threat has been terrific.
Let's have a look at the other end of the field, that back pass incident when the referee gave the indirect free kick. I don't think that really constituted a back pass.
That's a terrible decision, that. I think that's as poor as one as I've seen, that.
Now Otto outstripping them all. A chance for another one for Southend, but across the face of the Millwall goal, behind for the goal kick.
It's pace has worried him all day, hasn't it? He really has. He's done very, very well indeed.
Well, they had a few bob to spend after Stan Collymore went to Nottingham Forest for £2 million plus, and it looks as though Barry Fry has spent the money that's been allowed him very well indeed.
He certainly does well, as I said, in the lower divisions. He's always bought players who are hungry, and they've responded.
Oh, this kick there by Locke, and a throw to Millwall, who now have something like 9 minutes left. That's a bit of time to be added on. Bogey, sticking it through for Byrne, played on by him. SANSOME is alert as ever.
I would still like to see little Bogey in the middle. I think that he's able to pick out more when he's in there. Seems a bit isolated here. He's got such great vision.
Mooney's touch. Lee gets it back to Mooney. PAYNE. And now OTTO. Oh, ANSAH's goal! 4-1. Well, he can't believe it. The broadest smile in London belongs to Barry Fry as Andy ANSAH makes it 4. Well, it's an incredible result this now, Theo.
That's a marvellous cross, and it's a great goal from the 28-year-old going on 32. Great cross, unchallenged really, the boy OTTO, and that's a super pick out. Great header, but disappointing for Millwall.
And they've made a substitution, Southend. Jonathan Hunt is on. Let's have a look at it again. It's Adam Locke who's gone off. And there's Andy ANSAH's header.
He just lost Ian Dawes on the cross completely. Ian Dawes was looking for somebody to see who was behind him or marking him, but it was an unchallenged cross and an unchallenged header. They're not the sort of goals you give away, Brian.
Well, I wonder what sort of odds you would have got for 4-1 for Southend today.
As much as you want. The little boy Mooney you'll have to watch during the season. I'll tell you, he'll score goals. He's a bit like Mickey Quinn in build, but he'll get goals, I'll tell you.
Good play by Bogey. Acted by Huxford on the far side. And a goal kick for Southend. Well, the game's beyond Millwall's reach now.
I certainly feel that for me, the real turning point in the game was the third goal. Because that was a great save from Sammy, from Bogey's shot at clearance, and suddenly they've got a goal out of it, and they haven't really worked for it, and yet they've got something from it. But all credit to them, Brian. They have worked very, very hard for this result, and coming off the back of that 2-0 defeat against Wycombe. Great result.
Against Barnet.
Sorry. Get confused.
ANSAH. Hunt. OTTO again. Look at this. It's been a revelation today, and I tell you, it says an awful lot about management, doesn't it? That he's pulled the side round and he's talked some sense into them and he's talked some confidence into them, and a tremendous amount of credit for this performance today must go to the manager, Barry Fry.
Certainly does, and he has got 2 centre-halves out. I know we all have injuries, but he's had 2, and he wants more as well. Done very well. I bet he wished it had been Wycombe that beat him, not Barnet. Sorry about that.
McCarthy. Stevens. Down the line to Dawes. Now Bogey. Able to say that they've got half a side missing through injuries, but the same could be said for Southend. Dawes again. Hitting it long towards Kerr. 5 minutes of the game left now. I sense that when you name the man of the match, you aren't going to be very popular with Millwall fans. But
there's no way.
Don't tell us yet.
No way I'll be popular with Millwall fans. I'm going to show you that. It's got to be done.
Lee throw to Southend. Clearance.
Have been a bit of a bogey side, Southend Formula One, you know, beating them in the cup, and last year
and twice in the league they only drew with them, Millwall. 1-1 at the Den and 3-3 at Roots Hall. Oh, a little flick off the head there of Jonathan Hunt, but it fell safely for Southend, and here's Andy ANSAH. So a throw for Southend to be taken by Hunt. Lee, who's had an excellent game. Here he is again. His first goal for Southend was so vital. Here's PAYNE. Lee again, good control.
He was very much involved in the third goal as well, Brian, wasn't he?
Here's Byrne. Huxford, the long ball forward. Kerr's pace won't get him there, though. And it's, in terms of its quality, it's been, I mean, I know the finishing perhaps hasn't always been quite up to the mark, but in terms of the positive attitude and the movement on the field and the passing generally, it has been a thoroughly enjoyable game of football.
Certainly has. Good job to finish. It wasn't good, Brian. It'd be about 6-all.
Lee with a header, Dawes.
Born out of frustration with the lad Roberts. I do think that Millwall badly need that penetrative ball. It hasn't really happened much today, apart from when Bogey got on the ball. That's been one of the problems for me. Plus the two central defenders have had a hard job, really have.
Maguire playing it forwards. Right, let's now talk about man of the match. Who is your number one?
Well, I'm going to give it to the boy Jason Lee and not be popular again with the Millwall crowd. For two reasons, Brian. For one, coming into such a game, he's been involved in goals, he's scored a great goal, he's done very well.
Saved by SANSOME, sorry, I broke into you there.
I think the lad Lee's done extremely well. He's worked very hard. As I said, Barry's cleverness in picking him from Lincoln. He's a local boy, so I'm going to give it to him.
Good. Jason Lee then, the man of the match in this Endsleigh Insurance First Division game. Oh, Kenny Cunningham getting to his feet just in time to get ahead to the ball there. Finds Roberts, and now Bogey, and here's Dawes, played wide for Byrne. Bogey's gone away down the left-hand side, the flag has stayed down. ANSAH's chasing him, and succeeds in catching him and keeping the ball in play, and then runs straight into Ian Dawes. Andy ANSAH again, gets it back this time to Andy Edwards. Lee with the back heel. And there was a foul on the number 9. It'll be a free kick to Southend. Dawes with the throw for Millwall.
really enjoyed the game, Brian, you know. I think it's been a cracking game for this, you know, to open this beautiful stadium league-wise. It's been tremendous. A little bit sad that Millwall haven't got the result that everybody wanted them to get. You've got to give Southend credit for what they've done. They've done very, very well. They've done extremely well. No real surprise to me, knowing Barry.
Keller with the clearance. There's Huxford on the far side, dipping in the little cross there towards Kerr. He didn't really get a fist on that, did SANSOME, but it nonetheless fell Southend's way, and they get it forward again. Stevens cutting it out. Burn. Huxford again. Millwall fans unhappy that a Millwall player didn't get quickly enough to that. OTTO stopped in his tracks though by Maguire. Already played 2 minutes of time added on. Some space down this left-hand side, possibly for Dawes, but again, man of the match, Jason Lee, was back there to cover it. And the first competitive game in this wonderful new stadium has turned sad for Millwall, well beaten after going a goal up through John Kerr. The equaliser then through Jason Lee for Southend. Ricky OTTO made it 2-1. Tommy Mooney made it 3-1, and Andy ANSAH made it 4-1 for Southend. A really improbable result, but in truth, they came and they deserved what they got. So the final score is Millwall 1, Southend United 4.
There will obviously be cries now, Brian, I would think, for the loss of Colin Cooper. You've got to say, is a tremendous loss to any team, because he was a tremendous player for them and a pillar of strength in their defence. You've got to give Southend credit for what they've done. They've come here and conquered and deservedly took the result.
Yeah, but equally you have to live in the real world, and when a club comes and offers you over £1 million for a player, you have to think seriously about it, particularly when you are producing a wonderful new stadium this for the fans. So, you know, I feel a certain sympathy for the Millwall directors over that, I must say.
So do I.
Right, let's have a quick chat with the man of the match, Jason Lee. He's with Gabriel Clark.
Well, Jason, not a bad debut for you for Southend. Well played today.
Yeah, well pleased. That's my first game. It's nice to score for the club, you know.
Well, you mentioned the goal. What do you remember of it exactly? From the corner, I think, in the first half.
I just went in where it hurt and attacked the near post. I got across the man and that was it, in the net.
Here it comes now. Refresh your memory.
Yeah, it comes in. I've just attacked the near post, really. No problem then.
Nice moment for you and the new players to the team. It hasn't taken you long to settle in, has it?
No, that's our first win, you know. They lost in the week to Bayern. We've got Bayern next week, and we'll look at that side now.
I'll make a bit of a noise, mate. Here's the champagne, well done.
Cheers. Well pleased. Thank you very much.
A little bit noisy down there. Well, still to come today, 43 more goals from yesterday afternoon. Highlights too of Birmingham against Wolves. That's finished 2-2, by the way. And more from our guest, the Portsmouth striker, Lee Chapman. Stay with us. Millwall 1, Southend 4.
Well, Jason Lee in the interview said he went in where it hurt. I'm afraid the Southend players didn't have to get hurt today because the marking really was quite poor at times. And that's why Southend won the game today.
Let's have a look at the goals. Painful though they may be for Lions fans, these were just the second half goals, and there were 3 of them.
Yeah, Stephen slips there and lets Jason Lee in. He does hit a very good, intelligent ball across the box for OTTO, who did finish very, very well. Here we see it from a different angle. A nice little ball in, perfectly weighted, and although he does come off OTTO's shins a little bit, he did finish it, and that's what it's all about.
And then it all started to go very badly wrong, didn't it?
Very badly wrong. I thought Jason Lee might have just pushed Stevens here. Seems to nudge him here, and yes, I think there could have been the case for a foul there, but the play continues. Bit of a mix-up here, and Mooney gets the final touch, and a scrappy goal, but...
well, I'm sure Tommy Mooney didn't think it was.
No, he'd have been delighted with it, but it was very indicative of Millwall's performance.
And here it is, the nail in the coffin, if you like, from Andy ANSAH.
A terrific finish, but he's got all the room in the world, and Mick McCarthy must be asking serious questions of his defenders. Here we see it from another angle, and he's really invited to cross the ball. The 5 shows him the way to cross it. He does so, and Andy ANSAH's in acres of space, and you know, he really should finish from that position.
what we didn't see all the time was what the 12th Southend player was doing when all that was happening. You know what I'm talking about, and he's talking now to Gabriel Clark.
Well, Barry, you've come here to a new ground. They've all been looking forward to it, the Millwall punters. You've gone and spoiled the party. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I think we murdered them from start to finish, to be honest. But first half, we didn't get enough goals that our play warranted. But I was pleased with the way we played and the way we went forward and created a lot of chances, and we had a bit of luck and took 4. I thought Sammy made a vital save when it was 2-1. He went down, got it, and from that we went 3-1 up.
About that 2-1 goal, though, it was a reasonably key moment in itself, though, Ricky Otto's, but the move that led to it, you must have been pleased with.
Yeah, I'm delighted with Jason Lee. Adam Locke's here, he's passed. Jason Lee's done well here. Good touch, good vision. He's looked up, put the ball inside the full-back, great weighted pass, and Ricky Otto's knocked it in. Great goal. I was out of trap 3 and down the track by then. Brilliant.
You were disappointed at one stage with the central defenders, but they settled down. The whole team settled down. You've got a new look team. You've put a lot of players here. Doesn't seem to have taken long for them to settle in, though.
No, we've got 11 new players, and to be fair to them, we've done marvellous pre-season, and that's why it disappointed me greatly last week when we played Nottingham Forest, and I thought we let ourselves down. One
quick word, though. There's been a rumour around here today that Chris Powell, your fullback's going to West Ham. What do you know about that?
Well, I started it, but just to get Liverpool and Everton and all the rest interested. I mean, he's a great prospect. He's 22, and if anything happens to Stuart Pearce, then I'll recommend that he goes in the England team. He's that good, in my opinion.
But you want to keep him?
Yeah.
It's not in your hands?
It's not in my hands. If somebody bids us $2 million, I'll accept it.
Thanks, Barry. Well done today.
Thank you.
He wants the England job. I'd actually give him it, but it's not my decision. We're going to have another quick break now. Next, all the action from yesterday afternoon. 43 goals coming your way very shortly.